One of the biggest things that I notice when people learn guitar, they always like to try to make changes like this and then go like this to a C and then, go like this to a D and then always keeping. One of the most important rules I was taught very young is try to just move fingers. So, say I'm going from G to D. This is off topic of the song, but I like to help you guys not develop bad habits because I've done it and it's hard to break them. Honest, I wouldn't kid you about it. If you play like this for a long time and then you try to get back to this, like if you did that for 2 years, 6 months, it's going to be a lot of work. As soon as you go to do this and you're strumming away and playing a song, your hand automatically is going to do this. So what happens is we're actually choking out all these strings below that should always stay ringing. I'm not saying we don't ever play like that. I mean, if I'm doing a solo or something, sure. Now I gotta really, I gotta put some pressure on the back of the neck. But the problem when people start out learning, they're always moving their hand around like this. Very, very bad habit. So try not to do that. A lot of times I give my students like lots of chord progressions and lots of good strategies on how to work your fingers to get them to do it, because my fingers been working, we've been working together since I was 8. So they kind of know what they should be doing by now. But for example, like if I saw a student going from a D to a C chord, I always see everybody do this and step in like this. Not such a good idea. And D to C is tough. So just to give you an idea of the things that I teach that help you get ahead of others a lot faster, these are all techniques that I've developed by sitting with people and seeing their trouble areas. So I'd see people go like this, and I say, well, hold on a minute. When I play a C chord, fingers 2 and 3 are the most important, because remember, your pick's got to hit string 5 right away. So I get my students to not even think about right hand and hold the D chord and try to get, let's even take finger 1 off the D chord. These are things that I teach my students to try to get their fingers to be more mobile at a quicker rate, as opposed to taking months and months to try to get a chord change. It can be really frustrating, and I get it. I was there as a kid trying my hardest to make chord changes. So I've developed all these ideas. So if you look at 2 and 3, they've got to jump over strings 3, 4, and 5, and 2 stays in this. Finger 2 stays in fret 2 and 3 stays in fret 3. So try to make them jump over those strings, and finger 3 lands on 5 while 2 lands on 4. And I call these, finger push-ups, or, exercises for your brain and your fingers to kind of learn what to do. Now notice my hand's not moving around, right? Might have to change the title of this video now. I gotten all into chord changes here. We'll talk a little bit about While My Guitar Gently Weeps too, but we do have to get from a D to a C in the song. So this is useful if you're having a hard time getting from D to C. So try to get that working where it's like, okay, finger 1's out of the way. What I get my students to think about is, because you want to just focus on these 2 guys for a bit. Make them so that they can move really quick and land. They're landing on the bottom 2. So that's on string 1, that's on string 2. And then they're going up, this one's on 5. So we always know 3's above 2 and teach them that. So it's muscle memory. You're working your muscle memory in. So then as you keep going with that, we want to think about finger 1. We don't want them sticking out here or hiding behind the guitar or doing one of these, right? So it's all mind control. You've got to be aware. What I find with some students, they're like, okay, and they're doing the exercise, and oh God, I got to get my math homework done, and I got some chores I got to get done. My buddy's coming over. This finger's just, he's not even paying attention to me. That's kind of my analogy I'll give to students, because I do find as an instructor, people's minds wander about other things in life when they're studying music, and I can kind of sense it by what's happening. They're not concentrating. So concentration is really good, guys. Try to let all this stuff that's going on outside in the world, when we come to our music, it has to leave. That's why I say a lot of times it's nice to count. That way, all the things that are going on up here, whatever it is, maybe it's today, maybe it's COVID-19, maybe it's bills are coming in, whatever it is. Maybe it's a cool party you got to go to. Maybe it's a fun date you're going on, whatever. It could be fun. It could be tough thoughts, whatever. All those thoughts have to leave. And then maybe just start counting. When you count, all those thoughts don't have room to be in your mind. So you do things like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And we try to get finger 1 to land now with D, and we get them going back and forth. So I don't even know if anybody's watching. For all I know is I'm talking to myself, and that's fine, because I like putting good information out there, and hopefully, one day people come and say, holy cow, look at all this stuff I can learn off TJ's YouTube channel and get going on guitar. So I wanted to talk about the song While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It starts off in an A minor. Then it goes up here to string 6 with your pinky still holding this A minor chord. Then string 6 fret 2 with finger 2 still holding this minor chord. And then to an F. Then back to the A minor. Going to G. Down to D. Then we get this change. So D to E, and then I'm basically leading off finger 3s going to fret 4, 1's coming down on string 3, fret 2, and sliding up to 6 and 4, always keeping a fret in between open, nothing on the fret. I always keep this finger down so you guys can see, not a great habit, always keep them up and ready, but when I'm doing my videos, I like you guys to see exactly what's going on. So those are on 4 and 3. Now, then you come back around doing the same thing. Now, this is where we really need our wrist down. Lots of room between our hand and the neck, and we're not choking out the neck like this and going, I'm trying to get all these like, all right, that sounds good, right? Sure it does. That's not working. That's kind of working. That's kind of working. That's not working. So, I mean, to get all those strings clear, we need to have more of. And usually what happens is, I don't know what's rattling. I'm hearing something rattling. But usually what happens is we don't want to keep our wrist this way when we're trying to get finger 3 up there. You want to bring your wrist to, you want to pivot in more, but not like this, right? When I show people that, they tend to do this. So now the strum pattern of it can be really tough because it's like a down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. Back starts again. Now this time around, they end on C, I think. My fingers will play it for me. Now we got down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Yeah, now we go to C instead of D. And now we get this E major sliding back and it repeats. So I find strumming's really tough because when we worked on strumming way back before we could just play along to songs, I mean, we always tried to play along to songs, but I mean, if you're in a studio setting, there's a metronome on. So you might want to take this chart, and here's the strum pattern. Make sure the light's not blurring it all out on you guys. Hopefully that's being able to be read. You could take a screenshot of it, and wherever the arrows are, that's your strumming, and you're counting that whole timeline above 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and. And if you wanted to get really good at that strum pattern, you'd probably want to do something like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Looks pretty easy. Some people have a really hard time with it. Most people do, unless they've done a lot of rhythm work in the past. So don't get frustrated with yourself if you can't do it. In colleges, university, you would have to clap timelines at a very fast pace with the notes written above it, and try to keep up with the class and not mess up. So, I mean, for even a clap that's tough, you could take the chart that I just showed you, freeze it there, or take a snapshot or pause it there and go 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and that's basically what your rhythm hand's doing, right? It's going 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3 and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2. So that's really slowed down. 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2 and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and fast. It would sound like the song, but I played it slow so you can get the idea of the rhythm slowed down. Pretty hard to get it fast. It's like going to the gym and saying you want to build up your muscles and that right away you haven't been there or haven't done it much, and all of a sudden you got 200 pounds of weights on the bench press. It doesn't work. You got to start off with, maybe 30 or 40. I might just start off with the barbell at first, depending how long it's been since I've been to the gym, which has been a long time. So the other thing is music works by speed, so you don't want to go too fast. You want to teach your body to work at a good speed where everything can work together, your strumming. And if you think that was easy, then try to tap your foot on 1, 2, 3, and 4 as you're counting and strumming the rest. So 1E and 2E, right? So you got to hit 2, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E. So your foot has to tap on all those beats. So if you heard this strum really fast, it'd be 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 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 1E and 2E and 3E and pretty even hard to count that. 1E and 2E. Right. Talking in, trying to teach. That's what's happening. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 2E and 3E and C. And we get this cool little riff that I don't think that's what they're doing, but I put that in there. Just something simple. On the record, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening, right? Many different parts. So cool. That's the idea of the verse for While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Hopefully you'll check it out, work really hard at your rhythms and become a good rhythm player. So I gave you the tools now to know that, am I doing it right? Everybody strums for me and they think they're doing it right. So it's almost like, it's like saying, if you were a plumber, how would you know if your solder was good? Well, the pipe would leak, right? If you were a car mechanic, how would you know the motor that you rebuilt was good? Well, it would start up and it would run good and you wouldn't hear any knocking, or, it would run nice and quiet. How do we know if we're strumming right? Well, we usually use a metronome and we try to keep on a timeline. So that's my handy dandy metronome here. And if I was going to clap to just that to get rhythms, it'd be like 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4. I missed my 4. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E, 3E and 4E and 1E. And if you're right on the metronome, you can cancel it out. Takes a bit. One. Am I before it or after it? I got to figure out. So I'm still not right on it. There. Got it a few times. I can work it more and get better and better at it. That's called burying the metronome when we practice. So that way, if I got this on and I'm strumming now, 1E, and so now I got to figure out my 1E and a 2E, and I got to, every one of those have to be 1, 2, 3, and in between I'm counting E and a 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and so 1E and a 2E and 3E and 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and 4E and so I'm sticking right with the metronome there. You can hear it still a bit, but very close, and that's what you want to build rhythms up. So just giving you ideas on what musicians do when we take lessons and actually learn from the start, learning rhythms and all this stuff that's really important. I hope this video finds you guys well and helps you out lots. Please click on the subscribe button as well as the bell notifications so you receive notifications when I post more videos. I am trying to reach the goal of 1,000 subscribers. That will really help support my channel. So if you have any friends that play or anything of that nature, please send them, share my video with them, and please ask them to become a subscriber. All right, guys, have a great day. I got to move to my Skype lessons now. And if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Thanks. You can always text me. I'm on Skype too. So have a great day. Hopefully we get some sunshine soon. Bye for now.